Yeah. What? We've got shit to do right now, and you better fucking focus and realise this is fucking important shit.
Yeah, I'm totally focused.
And now we're going to play you the next version of DDB Delta Green. Enjoy. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Dem Drunk Blokes Do Delta Green. We're on a case. We've got to find someone. We've got to find someone at a trailer park. We're going to Thank you very much. As you can see, we're all back. Me, him, and him. And go.
Yeah, and go. So you're on. You said that you were going to just think about your strategy for the evening and what's going on tomorrow. You're currently pulling up outside the trailer park. You don't quite know where Ernesto Torres lives, but you got details that he was in this little place up north, the Creekside Mobile Home Park.
So, by my reckoning, we've covered every lead except the corpses which are in the morgue, which we'll be dealing with tomorrow at 8 in the morning. We haven't spoken to Ernesto Torres, who we're about to speak to now. Other than that, there's just the cops who were initially on scene and the crash site. And that's
Okay.
Then we've checked out everything.
I take it I've pulled up in my old bangers that I've stolen, and I'm with you now.
Yeah, I would say we're parked outside the mobile home park now.
Okay, so I'll relate.
Parking next to each other, so we're talking through the window.
The old FBI style.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to relay again the destruction. The private eyes that I went to see might be worth digging into this arson of one of the private things if we've got nothing to do here before we leave to the crash site.
And also, don't want to remind you, but you are looking around a hefty folder of accountancy documents.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for the reminder.
It's all right.
Didn't you befriend some private eyes who you thought we might be able to sort that out?
I mean, I could take it back to Bach and get them to run for it.
How much is it? Is it something we could run through ourselves?
It'd take hours. I mean, you could go and speak to Ernesto, and I could sit here in the car and flip through it while that's going on if you want.
I think the you could do that, and yeah.
I mean, I would say that it's probably better to have you there as well, because if I start screwing the pooch on defending Ernesto
again,
I've been rubbing people up in this town the wrong way.
That's true. You are a bit violent for the mild-mannered old detective, but you know.
My issue is I don't understand why people aren't taking this a bit more seriously. You know, something's not right here.
You was a homicide detective in Baltimore.
Yeah.
And you're wondering why people are not overly bothered about people dying.
Yeah, because this isn't like some sort of like street murder. This is like a really weird thing in a suburban neighborhood, right, where the neighbors should be more interesting.
And why do you think we don't live in the suburbs? Because everyone's a fucking weirdo.
Okay, so look. We are going to go and speak to Ernesto.
Okay. Right, I'm going to take the folder, everything, put it in the actual car that we've hired, not my stolen old banger. And I'm going to leave the finger in there too. And I'm going to put it all in the boot and lock the boot and take my old banger.
Can I just have a quick look at the finger before, like, as he puts it in? I just want to glance at it. Does the finger look the same as it did before?
It is still animated and slightly. I would suggest that it is, it's like just the same. It hasn't grown, moved. It's not producing any like moisture or condensation on the inside of the jar that you've got. It's still kind of pulsing, a bit like like nervous death throes. It's still pulsing and moving with regularity, but it's not writhing fast. It's just pulsing eerily slowly.
I just wanted to make sure that it hadn't started growing back into a thing. Like that was my fear. It would just like grow a person.
No.
An eyeball in the jar. Like, let me out. Let me out.
No, okay, so we're still pretty strong in this whole vampire theory. That's good. Okay.
So Creekside Mobile Home Park is it's got you can see that it's got a trailer out the front, which is like maybe an office, like maybe the janitor or the owner might run that, and then it's reasonably well kept. It's not complete, it's not run down or anything, but there might be 100 homes here.
So we're going to glance over to Pat and say, Pat, CDC, yeah? And like flash him the CDC badge.
And the guy behind the desk looks at you guys.
Well, this is before we go in. I'm clearing up with Pat that we are pretending to be CDC now. Before we walk in there, both flash the wrong badge and fuck it.
Just making sure. Well, okay, fine. Yeah, go for it.
All the time, anyway.
Pat's just shows him both badges anyway.
I work for both teams.
So yeah, I'm going to knock on the door of the sort of reception trailer, as it were.
There's a hear footsteps. The door opens. It's slightly overweight, middle-aged guy, reasonably well kept. He hasn't got a cigarette hanging out his mouth. He's not wearing a string vest. We're not talking that kind of stereotype. Bearded. He's got little wire-framed glasses. So how can I help you? How can I help you, sirs?
Good afternoon. I'm Inspector Hawkins. Flashed a badge with the CDC. I'm looking for a gentleman by the name of Ernesto Torres. I believe he lives here. He
reaches out and goes to take your ID so he can have a look, raising his glasses.
So if he takes the ID, then as soon as he takes it, I've just got my hand out, just held.
You're like holding it. So you're holding it.
No, I give it to him.
Oh, you do.
Wait for him to put it back.
Mine's flipped back in my pocket.
Fine.
I don't even know if I flipped the right one out.
So you're literally, he's come at you like this and you're waiting like that. So he takes it and has a little funky do, gives you yours back. He's not saying anything at this point. And he turns to Pat and he does the same, holds his glasses up very expectantly. He's not crushing your head.
I'm like, yes. How can I help you, sir?
Your ID, sir. Your ID, sir.
Oh, I showed you already.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm looking again. Can I take it? You got very fast hands, sir.
Sorry, born in the West.
Yes, people. We've got a lot of people here with fast hands. You need to be watching out for them. So he takes your ID. Roll me a D100. No, he doesn't say that. I say that.
I'll take it you're talking to Pat. I'm not Dave here, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay. He gives you that.
One, apparently.
You've got a 1. He gives you the ID back. So you've got some IDs. That's great. Do you want to see some of my paperwork, or are you arresting me, or?
I want to speak to Ernesto Torres.
Everyone wants to speak to Ernesto Torres. Like you're probably the 15th person who have come down here. We've had a lot of journalists. Let's call them that.
Do you know what the CDC is, sir?
No idea. No.
It's the Centre for Disease Control. So
right.
We're not journalists.
This is pest control. I mean.
No, it's diseases. So what we're worried about is that there could be something that could potentially be very bad for the residents around here.
Mm-hmm.
We need to speak with Ernesto to make sure people don't get sick and there isn't like a big sort of hoo-ha, lots of people dying, getting very ill.
Knocking down pumps,
Yeah, there could be some sort of lockdown. Maybe people wouldn't be able to go out for a few months. It would get really crazy.
And then riots will start.
So all we want to do is speak to Ernesto, and all we're trying to do is avoid any sort of, problems for everyone. We're sort of like an emergency service.
So why did you pull up in 2 cars then?
We was following different leads with different parts of the town. As you can imagine, leads need to be covered in this situation, and we tried to cover as much ground as possible. Our leads have gathered us here to your trailer park.
And what's with your accents? You're not local, are you guys?
You
we're
can tell.
part of an international unit.
International? No, not international. Interstate.
You've got an Irish accent.
Yeah, and? Do you mean I'm not American? That's no way to talk to me. My grandpappy come over here years ago.
I can't let you. I can't help you out. I'm afraid, guys. It's like I said, we've had a lot of people, a lot of imposters who have tried to get into Ernesto's house or get hold of him because of what happened the other day.
Are you accusing us of being imposters?
All I'm doing is just looking after the safety of my residents.
What about if you call my boss at the CDC and he verifies who we are? Would that make you happier? Let's
do that. Do you guys want to come in? So he opens the door.
You got a computer here?
Yeah, there's a shoddy desktop on a desk, and there's a phone. He's got a mobile phone on his desk as well.
So why don't you look up the CDC?
Mm-hmm. Right. So where do I go? CDC.com, yeah?
Yeah, just
CDC.gov.
CDC.
AC.
Okay. No, that URL doesn't work. It's like taking me to, I don't know, some weird website. What?
It's cdc.gov actually. Sorry.
cdc.gov. Hang on. Oh no! See, one of these keys is really, really sticky.
Okay, so what I wanted you to be able to do there was to source the number yourself. I can just give you the number. My boss is called Roberta Kane. You can call her.
Okay. Well, is she part of law enforcement or anything? Is she another journalist?
You're a funny guy.
She works for the CDC, the Center for Disease Control.
Yeah, and I work for the FBI.
You work for the FBI? Oh, that's interesting because we're also liaising with the FBI quite heavily.
Yeah, of course you are. Yeah.
Okay, so would you have any sort of problem if we just had a little walk around the trailer park?
Yeah, I would have a problem with you just wandering around the trailer park. 2 pest control agents, journalists dressed up as pest control, just wandering around, annoying my neighbours, asking them questions that they don't want to answer.
Okay, I'm going to need a moment with my colleague, and then we'll come back and speak to you, okay?
Well, look, I'm not trying to be funny.
Stop. I can see at least 4 violations on your license here. Please let me roll an alertness to see what I can see, and then make up.
Yeah, you can roll it. Well, do you want to make it up, or do you want to roll for alertness?
Let's see what I can see, and then I'll just make it.
Your alertness is high enough to see that there are no infringements in this office. It's a well kept, very basic wood panelled porter cabin in effect.
Right, but I meant on the way in.
On the way in, okay.
Like at the general site itself.
Okay. You're best rolling a persuade.
I mean, I know where we went wrong here.
You picked the wrong badge, you prat.
Where did you go wrong? Was it that you just thought you could just wander into a
badge?
So back into character. So you're telling me that on the way in, I have a pest problem that is in breach of regulations.
Infringement of general living statutory blah 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 blah. I don't know what to call it.
Okay, well that was convincing enough. I'm like,
if you give me 5 seconds, I will find out the exact things that is in breachment of.
Well, What is this?
You cannot charge rent to these people for a substandard living arrangements. You have done, and we need to see one of your things. Now, I can bring a whole team down here, and we can go through your books, and we can make sure that you never, ever be able to rent your site again. Or you could just tell us where Ernesto Torres is.
Maybe you can write me a little list.
Really?
I don't...
So if you want us to write you a little list, we're going to need to walk around, aren't we?
Look, if you're going to do an inspection, I want some paperwork in advance. If you're going to report me, I have the right to carrying out any rectification works in good time, at a cost which is not prohibitive, and with effort that is not prohibitive as well. Whatever's practical to this park. And my residents pay a lot of ground rent to make sure that I and my team look after this site. This isn't some 2-bit trailer park.
I see where this is going. Pat, why don't you go and wait in the car? I'll sit in here with Mr. Sorry, what's your name?
Smith.
I'll sit in here with Mr. Smith, make a few phone calls, and we'll get everyone down.
Okay. I'll go draw up the paper and get the warrant.
Right. So Pat leaves the office and I stay.
I then want to just check online the Creekside Mobile Park home and just to see who's actually in charge and if the guy's actually called Smith or if he's trying to be even more awkward, because I'll bring that down on his ass as well.
So the general manager is Anthony James. And there's a photo of him on the website.
Yeah.
And it is your man.
Okay. So I'll text that over to David as I'm wandering to the car or sitting in the car. Just send him a link and stuff like that. Just sort of giving him some information to attack with. On the way back to the car, I want to give a general sweep round and see if there is anything out of place that I could proper hammer home as an infringement.
Sure.
So I'm going to get on the phone to Roberta Kane.
Yeah.
I'm going to... Roberta, have you got a minute?
Yeah, always. I mean, she's got a male voice at this stage. Yes, always. Always, David, my darling. Agent Riggs.
I'm at the
Agent Murta. Sorry.
I'm at the Creekside Mobile Home Park, trying to follow up on Ernesto Torres.
Yeah.
And the general manager, Anthony James, is giving me a bit of issues. Do you think you can speak with him?
I will do my best. Go on, hand him over. Go on, hand him over.
I hand him over. I'm hoping that my casually dropping his real name might have shook him up a little bit. Maybe I looked at him when I said it.
He's not being too much of a sticking in the mud, old Smith, Mr. Smith, of which you know it's Anthony James now. So you hear an introduction on the phone. You can't hear the call. Have you got it on speaker or
no?
When you pass it over, no. So you can't hear the conversation. You've got Mr. James or Mr. Smith going, yeah, and then there's a bit of a pause, and the colour drains out of his face, and he starts looking a little bit more worried, a little bit more obedient, and he hurriedly wants to get off the call at this point. So he says, "Thank you very much, Roberta. Really appreciate your time. Sorry for wasting your team's time. Yeah, cool. Let's we best get this sorted because I don't want this place to be known as one of those places." Okay, cool. So he hands the phone back to you. It's still on the hook. Roberta's still on the line.
Thanks for that, Roberta.
No problem. We'll chat soon. Thanks very much.
Bye.
So
I decided that I've got a flip phone for some reason.
It's 2003. Smith or Anthony James? He says, Ernesto is at number 46, which is like 50 yards down on the left. He does have a guest with him, so just be polite and...
Could you elaborate a little bit on guest?
Well, I'm sure if you make it worthwhile, I can help myself to elaborate for you.
You've already wasted quite a bit of my time. I think this is the least you could do, no?
Look, Sonny, unless you're going to arrest me, unless you're going to take me away, you know where his house is. I'm just saying he's got a guest.
I'm going to make you come across like an absolute prick in the article I write. Thanks, buddy. I'll leave.
He gestures to the door and walks towards it and holds it open for you. Obviously with a view to shutting it and having a drink when you've gone.
Yeah, walk through it. Don't look back.
Bye. It slams lightly. It's not a very secure door. Right.
Can I wreck on something?
What?
While I was inside, could I see like a money safe or where they keep the rent, anything like that? Because I'm going back and taking it in the middle of the night.
Actually, just to retcon a little bit, I did you a disservice last session, Pat. And I'm sorry. You were searching the house for things to steal, and there is jewelry in the house. So if you wish,
I should be rocking bare rings now, isn't it?
There's some jewelry and it's of reasonable value. It's not lots of it. It's just key pieces worth tens of thousands of pounds. So if you wish, you may have stole that retrospectively. Or you may have just left it there for later because you've secured the site.
I think maybe I would have left it there to make it not obvious that I've taken it yet.
I think we spoke about the fact she had shoes and handbags worth that sort of value, right?
Yeah, so it probably maybe have prepared a handbag full of jewellery and left it in a place only I know so I can sweep in and grab it on the way out.
I was having to think about that and it seemed a little bit stupid to not have at least a few items which are worth nicking. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So you're skillfully aware. You know where the safe is, and you know what sort of safe it is as well in this place, and you know it's a sort of safe that if you were given 3 hours with, you could probably pop without destroying the safe. It's a very straightforward one for you, but timely.
Okay.
Might be a little time sink. Also, your experience tells you that they probably don't keep a lot of cash here.
Yeah, I was thinking if it was a cash-based sort of renting economy.
I don't know. I mean, obviously, accounting is really not your strong.
Yeah, but
skill,
surely I would know like slumlordy type renting arrangements.
I think because
I would
this.
have thought that if it's like a proper shithole, right, that people are paying their cash in rent just because they probably don't have bank accounts and, you know.
And the fact they're cleaners and gardeners and
that's what
the lower echelons of society.
Not that I think you should be stealing from Creekside Mobile Home Park. I don't think that's the right. You know.
Oh no, I'll give it back to the rentees.
Hi, Pete, like Robin Hood. Yeah.
That would require a case in the joint, right? Because you'd need to know when rent day is, and you need to hit it like rent day.
It's just some bit of information for up there for later on.
You know what I said like on session 0. You need to think like a criminal.
Yeah.
There you go. Also, that seems fair to me as well. I think maybe half it's a middle ground kind of mobile home park. You probably expect half of them to be a kind of some sort of standing order payment, and half of it to be, a little bit less formal.
Blowjobs and crack.
Maybe not that informal.
Crocs.
Well, he was keen to take your money off you earlier, wasn't he? Cool.
Okay, so as I walk out the door, kind of do that weird. How do you describe the move where you're not nodding, but you're kind of like raising your head up like to get someone's attention and like direct them towards something.
What is
You know
that?
that-
That's
It's
like
the
a.
summon shake.
It's a tick.
Yeah. Yeah, you know,
Summon
like,
shake.
so pat, and I kind of nod towards the trailer, you know,
Yeah.
in that really casual, cool way.
Like you're calling a dog without saying its name.
Yeah.
There's
It feels like we've got Tourette's at the moment.
Oh, that reminds me. So you're going in.
What?
You're going in, I imagine. Going in dry.
So as we're walking to the trailer, I'll say this is an Echo trailer. Apparently, he's got a guest. The brick in there didn't want to tell me who.
Probably a lady friend, or don't judge, might be a man friend, but you know, that kind of friend.
So when we're looking at the trailers, do they look like the sort of trailer? Are they like static trailers?
Yeah, they're two-part static trailers. So they're transported there in two halves. A bit of fascia is put on them, and they're like an okay size, but they're definitely temporary. Well, not
Would they have a
temporary.
back door?
They'll all have a front and back door. Kind of, actually, the back. They're not trailers out onto yard straight away. They're out onto drive. So the front is onto an owned driveway, and then the back has got a bit of a gated, like a fenced backyard. But it has a front and a back. Yeah.
Pat, maybe you go watch the back.
Oh yeah, I walk around it sleufily.
And I'll knock the door.
It's starting to the night's starting to draw in a little bit. It's well into 6 o'clock now. 6 p.m. You're kind of wandering around without too much of an issue. On the driveway, so the lights are on inside, but the curtains are drawn. On the driveway, there is a delivery vehicle. And you recognise this as probably being his. Let's call it his FedEx vehicle, just for shits and giggles.
Other delivery services are available.
And then in front of that, like parked behind it, is a very nice gold Mercedes C-Class. Very, very nice bit of kit. Very sparkly too.
New looking? New looking?
Yeah, it's only 2 years old.
2 years, okay, all right.
Yeah. The number plate is unusual. It is a New Jersey number plate.
So this is whoever's visiting him is in a caddy from New Jersey. Okay, cool. So I assume that Pat is in position watching the back door. I will.
The silence. You can hear a bit of a shuffle, and then footsteps. You hear a man's voice. Yeah, I'm just coming. Who is it?
So, Agent Hawkins, FBI.
There's a bit of a pause. Did you FBI? I don't know. There's a second voice. Male. Deep voice. Both got a bit of a Hispanic accent to them. Can't make out what the second guy said, but he was a little bit baffled as to why. He got a sense that the second guy was a bit baffled as to why anyone would be knocking on the door. The pause between you saying you're the FBI and him asking questions of his guest is a little bit uncomfortably long. Officer, how can I help you?
Ernesto Torres.
The door's closed still.
I'm an FBI agent. Open the door.
Okie dokie. Did you see Tony?
Did I see Tony?
Did you see Tony?
Anthony, the park manager.
Oh, do you mean the manager?
Can you both roll me a stealth? Yes, because you literally had to talk to one another then. Oh, you're all right. That was it was more Pat really, kind of trying to like tip you off without anyone hearing. I'll give you that. And it's okay with Tony.
Yeah. Of course. I mean, I got past him. I'm here, right?
And you hear the two people talking again. You have to roll me an alertness for this because they're talking so quietly. Even though you're alert.
Is there a peephole in the door, or is it just a full door?
There's a one-way peephole, like an eye lens.
So as I'm holding my badge up, I'm going to transfer the pistol to the sports coat pocket.
Okay. The two people's the conversation that you hear is very short and it goes like this. It goes, I thought you said no one would come here. I thought you sorted Tony out. And the guy who's nearest to you says, what do you mean sorted Tony out? And the guy behind, like further in, says, I told Tony not to send anyone down. I guess you better open up the door.
Shit. I know. It's the fucking FBI, isn't it?
So, the man whose voice you heard earlier says, I'm opening up the door now. And you can kind of sense him behind the door. You can almost like feel his breath, you know.
I'm taking a step back and the hands in the pocket with the gun, kind of aiming through the pocket lining.
He opens the door, opens up out towards you, and it's Ernesto Torres dressed quite casually, not in his work clothes, just in a t-shirt and jeans. He's saying, "Officer, are you well? Are you good? How can I help you? It's been a busy day, man.
I've been an FBI agent for a long time now, and it's never a good sign when you knock on someone's door and they start whispering and spend a long time opening the door. So, do you want to just level with me now and tell me what's going on?"
No, I've just got a buddy kind of over to we're just chatting about what's been going on today, and at that point, the buddy stands up. You can see down the length of his home into the living room. From where you are, you can see down all the way down a small hallway into the living room, and a guy stands up, very smartly dressed, wholly or definitely part Mexican, very handsome looks. Like the looks of an aging, like 1950s movie star almost. And he says, "Hey, officer, I'm Ernesto Torres. I'm not Ernesto Torres. Sorry, I'm Enrico Save. Let's get the name right.
I'm Enrico Suave.
You know Enrico Suave, yeah, yeah.
Big fan.
Where are you guys from? Where are you guys from, eh? Where are you guys from? Where are you from? Sorry, David. Where are you from? Is that an accent I hear? Is that Massachusetts or something? Or Baltimore? You're from Baltimore? Ah, that's almost my neck of the woods. So you would have seen me, right? Yeah?
I don't think we've met.
No. TV? No?
I don't know you. I'm not a big TV guy.
KY69, Channel News? No? Enrico Save? The Enrico Save? Enrico Save? No? Save Enrico?
I don't think, your name sounds familiar now, but that's probably because you keep saying it. I haven't seen you before, I don't think.
Well, I don't want to get in the way of your fine investigations, but I'm just doing a little interview with Ernesto here, and it's going to make a great story.
So you're not actually good friends with Ernesto then? And
we're buddies now, aren't we? Hey,
Ernesto, do me a favor. Would you go and open the back door?
they kind of look at one another, and Ernesto's like, sure, he's kind of chill. He's like, he's actually chill with you being here. He was just a bit. He looked to you like he was confused that someone else came in.
Yeah, I know. He thought he had the scoop. I get it. He's probably paid top dollar to a couple of people, and he thinks he's got the scoop. Yeah.
So Ernesto turns around, walks through a kitchenette adjacent, opens a fly shield. Opens the door and opens a fly shield. And
oh, hello. How are you doing?
is this guy with you? Are you coming in? Yeah. Enrico from the lounge says, "Hey, you better get their IDs because if they want a little bit of this whiskey, we want to make sure they're over 21. Am I right?"
So
I presume you guys are off duty now. Yeah, you want to come in?
FBI badge comes out, and strangely enough, the first person I show it to is Pat.
Who rummages around in his pocket for a bit. He goes, got it.
Okay. And Ernesto is not bothered about your ID particularly.
So, what was it? Enrique Savage? Was that the guy's name?
Enrico Suave.
Enrico Suave.
You know who this guy is?
So he's on the table. On the table in front of him in the lounge area, there's a little voice recorder, into like a dictating device, and a couple of glasses of glasses with ice in them, and half a bottle of scotch, which has been being enjoyed by the looks of it. Enrico is driving this conversation a bit more than Ernesto. Ernesto is like, it's kind of like looking kind of quite happy that he's got so much attention somewhat. Enrico is like, Enrico Save, the New Jersey journalist, TV star, invites you guys down. Hey, you guys come down. I've only got 2 glasses. This place is a bit of a shithole, but come down. Let's talk. Are you here because of the old Mill Creek shenanigans? Yeah. Am I right? Yeah, am I right?
So we've got massive.
Enrico Suave.
That'll do.
We've got a massive problem here in that this prick's recording everything.
Not a problem. Journalists will be journalists. Understand this, though. We've got a few questions, Mr. Suave, that cannot go on your record.
Do you want me to step outside for a bit and let myself in later? I mean,
we won't be that long, I don't think.
How about I step out and you give me a little bit of a scoop? Yeah,
we can give you the inside scoop.
Fair's fair. And Ernesto won't know this, but you are coming in without a warrant. Am I right? Yeah.
Are you right? No, not at all. This is just a general inquiry. Don't need a warrant. But yeah, anyway, fuck off. Big fan of your music. Big fan.
So he leaves the glasses on the table, leaves his digital dictaphone on the table, and just kind of walks out.
Okay,
I can't believe it was that easy. The dictaphone off him. I'm sure he's going to take that with him.
No, he's left it on to see that if he can record us, obviously.
Yeah, but we're going to steal it. We're not going to have it anymore.
You're going to steal it, are you?
You're going to steal it.
He could have one of his new tracks on it. We could be millionaires.
So,
okay. Shot myself in the toe.
Walk over to the phone, pick it up, stop it recording. I assume it was still recording.
No, it was off.
It was off already?
Yeah.
Okay, Ernesto, if you don't mind, the quicker we get through all of this, the quicker you can go back to selling your story and, making yourself a small fortune, and I assume moving out of this place. If you can just tell us from the beginning everything you know about Theobald Reeves, and then in detail the day in question when you discovered the bodies.
Sure. No problem. This has been a wild day. So I turned up, what was it, yesterday morning now? I turn up, must have been like 6 a.m. or something. and I was just delivering a package, and there was like this dude, this white beard, like Father Christmas, this white bearded dude, like laid out. I was like, oh my god, I better make sure I deliver the package. So I like made sure the package was put in place, and I thought, oh no, what if they think I'm like the guy who did it? So I was like, oh shit. So I took the package back. I was like, no, I don't want to get evidence that I was here, but I can't leave the scene. Like, oh, so I kind of I took a little photo, like just put it on my Insta. That was pretty cool. And then thought, no, maybe I should call the police. Like it was, sun still hadn't come up at this point, so there was no one around. Maybe no one would have seen me. There wasn't many people around, but I don't know. You know what it's like. Kind of, if I don't like get my story straight, they'll probably like bang me up forever. And before I knew it, like then we did the police station, and then they didn't even bother asking me any questions. They like sent me over to the hospital, and then some journalists came. We had a bit of a party, and like we were chatting through this plastic screen, and they were like, "Ooh, have you heard? Like the house is like all kind of bad, and there's like bacteria there, and people are going to die. And what did you see?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm like a celebrity now. This is brilliant. And like I can give up my job of being a deliverer, and I can kind of go and tell my story around the world. It's going to be awesome. We can move out of this place."
Mr. Torres, I get it. I get you're
David
excited.
reaches for a glass and has poured himself a whiskey while this is going on.
So he interrupts you and says, "Well, so I got out there. I was in the hospital, and they came and they did some blood tests on me." I was like, "Yeah." It's like, are they giving me the super serum? This is awesome. And then they said, "Oh, no charges. You can go." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a brown man. No charges. Like in your face." And the journalists were like, "Yeah, let's have a bit more of your story." I'm like, "This is awesome." It's like, "Yeah, okay, I want $50 for my story." And they were like, "Yeah, no problem." So they filmed me, and I was on the television. They were like, "Oh, you found a body?" I was like, "Yeah, I found a body, but I didn't do it." I'm like, "Yeah, hero." And then like Enrico, he like got in touch. He was like, "Yeah, can I have an exclusive from you?"
Ernesto, you're going to have to stop talking now.
And he interrupts you again. I'm like, "No." And like Enrico got in touch and was like, "Yeah, I want
Mr.
to do a
Torres,
story."
listen to me. Where is the package?
Wow. What package? The
Package
one that I was
delivered
supposed to be
that
delivered.
day.
It's probably gone back into circulation now. It's just a small. Why? Do you want it?
Well, yeah. It
Well-
should have been bagged and tagged as evidence. Was it?
I have no idea. You know what? I didn't get a POD. They took the whole van.
Were you banned outside?
Yeah, they gave it me back. It's fine. Hey, actually,
Hang on now.
it might still be in the back of the van. Do you want to look?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. Come on then.
Give me the keys. You can stay with Hawkins.
So,
Hawkins looks at you and he's just like, "Motherfucker."
Enjoy it, Mr. Agent Hawkins.
he popped his bubble then. So it's obvious. So he gives you the keys. Pat, are you going out to the van?
Oh, if it's full of FedEx parcels, I'm taking the van.
Okay, so you've got the key. It's obvious from the decoration that he lives alone. Not that it's sparse. It's just it's decorated like a single guy. Yeah. There's not much else to talk about really. He's kind of buzzing. Really, he's buzzing from the attention. He's loving it. He's very cooperative. I mean, he didn't think twice about giving you the keys to the van. He's like, everyone's his friend. He's like a puppy. It's like, yeah, this is great. Everyone like wants me.
You haven't spoken at all about Tybalt. Did you know Tybalt, the man who you found dead? Did you have any prior knowledge of him?
Nah, it's just some guy. Lives in Mill Creek. Very white round there.
Do you
It's
deliver often to that? Oh, sorry, I'm not there.
And what about the body? How long were you there? Were you with the body? Do you know anything more about what happened with the body?
It's literally there for 5 minutes. I just panicked. I just freaked out, to be honest. What do you want to know? Is like some dead dude. Someone had killed him, and like, thankfully they didn't set me up for it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, lucky, right? That shit happens.
Yeah, I know. I got a job, man. I'm doing well. Got my own place.
And so let me clue you in. If you're looking to sell your story, $50 is not enough, mate. You can get a lot more than that for it.
Yeah?
You're only going to be able to sell your story for a very short amount of time, because once everyone's heard your story, it's not going to be a saleable product anymore. So make sure you get a decent bang for it now, because you won't be getting any later. I wish you all the luck in the world, mate. Thank you very much for your time. We'll be out of it.
So, Pat, you walk out to the van.
And it starts as I'm reversing it out of the drive.
Well, Enrique Save is standing under the window of the lounge.
Bye.
I've obviously got the digital recorder in my pocket. That, like, when I picked that up, I didn't let go of that. That's coming with me.
Please tell me it's got the La Cucaracha horn, because I'll just bid it when I'm ready to drive off.
I'm leaving, basically. I don't think he's got anything useful to tell us whatsoever. He's got that package, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. So, Pat, are you looking in the van, or are you just getting in the van? Because you're blocked in at the moment anyway, if you're thinking of driving off in the van.
No, did the other car was... Oh, right, I see what you mean. Sorry. I had the cars the other way around.
Sorry.
Yeah, well, I'll be looking for it, see what's in there, see anything addressed to the residents of Theobald Greaves, Mr. Postlethwaite Hunt, and Ellen DeGeneres, or whoever it was.
There's literally not... There's not a fat lot in the back of there. There's... There's like 20 packages, various sizes. There's one to... Whatever it was... the Mill Creek address of Tilwood Greaves, one addressed to Amanda Griffin. And do you open it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're ripping all these open. It's just a book. It's like some lifestyle magazine, kind of periodical, handbags and blouses, weekly. In the other boxes, roll me a look. Get under 50. Let's see. It feels like just roll the D100. Okay. Feels like D&D now. Actually, roll me a D100. Let's see what you get from the.
The first shit roll.
This most of this stuff is not valuable. There's a couple of phone handsets if you want them. Yeah. Modern, expensive smartphones. These are recorded delivery jobbies. The rest of it looks like paperwork and other bits and pieces for other things. There's not many packages, like 20 in there left.
Okay, so I take a couple of phones. I've ripped open all the packages. I just leave a note. FBI IOU. Just throw it on top. And as David's walking down the driveway, I just open the back door and jump out next to him.
So, Enrique Suave, like I said, he was standing very close to the living room window. Just obviously in earshot of any conversations that took place inside the trailer. And he comes up and he's like, "Hey, agent, you say you do me a deal. Yeah.
I tell you what, the latest big scoop. There was a mall fire down South Town involving a PI agency. Very suspect. Could be terrorism. You could be the first one to report on it. Go and find out. First
one to report on it, yeah?
Yeah.
Why aren't you investigating it?
We are. It's all part of a grander scheme. But
I'm
sure our paths will cross again.
It's all part of a grander scheme, yeah? Who's got the highest charisma out of the pair of you?
I think probably.
I think you're about the same, aren't you? Oh, Pat. Oh, Pat.
Yeah.
So, officer, what's your name? Pat, what's your name? He doesn't know. Agent Riggs. So, maybe you and I can grab a beer tomorrow and you can walk me through it or something, or maybe you can. Can you get access to the site? Can you get me in there?
I'll tell you what. We'll meet you. We've got something to do in the morning, quite early. But if you open me for bar open at 1 o'clock downtown, I'll show up.
It's a deal. Hey, I love you, man.
See you.
See you later. He just
run my
stand.
hand through my hair like this.
He's just standing there, like looking at you guys, like not like he's in love, but like he's
He's hit the big time.
He
Like
is in love with himself, quite clearly.
I mean, you do know who this guy is, right?
So
He's a ranker, right?
you guys,
What?
A new ranker.
He's a rapper from the 90s.
so he to you guys, he is not.
A rapper from the 90s.
This is not his first rodeo, right? You know that the way he was being cooperative, but he was trying to manipulate you. You both know that.
He was playing the game. It was, yeah.
I think we played the game with him. He's now going for afternoon beers on his own.
Well, I thought you were going to go and play the game with him tomorrow afternoon. That's what it seemed like to me.
I'm not playing the game with him. I'm going to leave him. I'm going to stand him up. We've got to go search a plane crash. What are you talking about?
Well, we need to go and interview them coppers that were on scene.
Yeah, but that keeps us away from downtown pub, doesn't it? Undescript pub, downtown. And the fucker bought it. Let's go.
You
Don't look back because you've got his fucking recording thing in your pocket.
So, yeah. Are you going to get into your stolen car and drive, or are you just leaving?
Oh, no. That just stayed around the corner. That's why I parked it off a bit.
Okay.
So you're both getting back into the brown. I forget what it was. It was some kind of like brown. Oh no, it wasn't a brown Lexus.
It was silver, wasn't it?
It was a Volvo 940.
Grey
Wasn't
Volvo.
it? Yeah, it's like the most boring car on
Very,
earth.
very similar to some other agents had.
So that was weird, and Enrico, you kind of do a small little check on Enrico Suave. He used to be a reporter in New Jersey. He's now he doesn't appear to be affiliated with any station, even though he said he was working for KY69. He's definitely a journalist, and he's definitely a journalist of repute as well, but tends to be kind of he used to be the face of like New Jersey local news, and he's kind of known for being flamboyant and known for like being quite experienced. He's a very experienced like street journalist. We
assume that we're going to have a tail from where we go. So where are we staying overnight?
We haven't spent a night yet, have we?
No.
We arrived this morning. We arrived late, middle of the night sort of thing, and then drove here.
So if we're going to get tailed, it's not going to be by him, right? Because he's got that gold fucking monstrosity.
He's from New Jersey. You
So
don't notice the colour of the car there, man.
You've started driving, right? And you've been around. I was going to say you've been around a block. Not literally, you've been around the block. You are not being tailed
yet.
You're doing some clever defensive driving manoeuvres. You like cutting back on yourself. You're parking up. That gold Lexus is not whatever it was. Mercedes
C-Class. Keep up, DM.
Yeah, I couldn't see my notes.
It's early evening, right? When we got up there, it was like just turning evening.
Yeah, it is early evening. Yeah, it's like half 6, 7 now.
So the last thing to check off here,
We could go to the police station.
yeah, is go and check the police station, right? And there's no reason we can't just go there and hope that the officers are there.
Sure.
And if not, with the IDs and the cooperation that we've got already, we could get home addresses if need be, if they're not around.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, shall we
while we're driving,
have an episode break here?
Yeah, but one second. Just while we're driving to the police station, I want to listen to the dictaphone so we can listen back to the interview.
Fair enough.
So maybe you can tell us what's on that after the advert break.
Yes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, stay with us. Next week will be released. The next episode, we'll find out what's on the dictaphone. We'll find out what the pigs know. We'll also find out what our actual motives are, because I don't think we're on the same page. But next time on Dem Drunk Blokes Do D&D. Bye.
Bye.